morning, my brothers and sisters. Today we celebrate one of my favorite early church martyrs, St. Lucy. St. Lucy, a young Roman girl 1,700 years ago. This young girl, this Roman man wanted to marry her. She already told him, I'm giving my life to Christ. This witness, in the ancient Roman world, you really weren't even a human being until you could say your first word. So especially if you were a daughter, you had no rights. And early in these earliest years of the Christian faith, women like St. Lucy, and their names are all the way through the Roman martyrology to this day. Lucy was such a strong woman. And her father, to try to marry her off, you're not marrying me off to anybody. You're not marrying me to anybody. I have my own thoughts, my own life, my own desires, my own love, my own movement in this world. I'm a bride of Christ. And you're not going to marry me off. She gave her life to Christ. And of course, like so many of the early Roman martyrs, the man that she was engaged to became enraged. He had her arrested. He had her tortured. And one of the big aspects about her torture, her eyes were removed. Her eyes were plucked out, and she was martyred. And her witness quickly spread throughout the early church. This young bride of Christ. And that's why her name Lucy, we don't really know it was her name Lucy, but it comes from lux, light, L-U-X. So especially we have someone who their eyes were removed during the darkest days of the year, where light is we're ready for the light to come into the world. And we see through her witness, before the Gregorian reform of the calendar, her feast was on the longest night of the year, right? With her eyes in absolute blackness. But with her feast, that's why the next day through the Gregorian calendar, every day after would be that much brighter. Light was going to come into the world. Lucy's witness was coming into the world. Daylight would grow a little longer each and every day. And that's why in the early church you would have Lucy candles. In a season of Advent candles and all kinds of Christmas decorations, in the early church, Lucy candles, Lucy bonfires, sprinkled with incense. So people would know the great aroma of Christ was entering into the world. More light was coming. And to those especially who suffer various maladies of the eye, this is your patron saint. Those with cataracts or all kinds of, the gamut is all there, the spectrum. Lucy is the saint to pray to. She's the patron of the eye. She's the one to pray for. And she remains a symbol, not just for earthly vision, but for spiritual vision. Let us see the world through the eyes of faith. Because in that same light that opened Lucy, that's the same light that the prophets embraced. That's the light that was absent in many of those Sadducees and Pharisees that couldn't see them to embrace the truth that the Lord would preach and teach. Because my brothers and sisters, as we know through our years, just as we can lose eyesight, we can also lose faith. Lucy, this young girl, represents all the people of faith in our world today, young and old, that we can see in the light through the darkness we are in. So this season of Advent, a season of candles, asks us to join in Lucy's ranks. How through her glorious and heavenly intercession will we bring the light of Christ's love to others today? May St. Lucy pray for you. God bless.